This video contains 3 tutorials from my most popular course, the Essential Topology Guide. The full course contains 41 tutorials and 4 hours of training, with extra content yet to be added. If you'd like to start learning how to master professional topology, you can get 35% off with the promo code SAVE35. Or for an even better deal, you can actually get this course and the Essential Material Guide for the price of one course. Just pick up the Essential Blender Bundle and use the code BUNDLE40 at checkout. A really common task when you're making hard surface models is to cut a square or a rectangular panel into a sort of rounded or curved shape. Now, if you try, let's say you just cut a square like this in, if you try to just reinforce it with loop cuts, that would usually lead to weird artifacts and to pinching. But there is actually a method that I like to use. I use this all the time and it's really simple to do. I'm just going to make a selection here. This is where I want the panel to be sort of pushed in. And I'm going to press I to inset it. How far we inset this is going to decide basically how rounded off the panel will be on the pushed in section, right? So I'm going to leave this basically here. And then I'm going to select these parts and I'm going to bevel them. Now this bevel is going to basically decide how rounded off the corner is going to be. So if we go for a small bevel, it'll basically be 90 degrees. And if we go for a larger bevel, we'll get a rounded off corner. So I'm just going to go for a small bevel on this one. Let's go medium. Let's go something like this. I'm going to select these parts here and press J. And I'm going to go around the whole thing and just connect up all of those points. Get rid of the n-gons, and then I'm going to add a loop cut into here in the middle of this one that's running around. I'm going to select all those original faces that we had, and I'm going to expand the selection by 1 by pressing Control and plus, and then I'm going to inset this. Now because it's on a weird angle, we want to inset this based on the face normal, so I'm going to use Alt and E and extrude along face normals, which will push it straight back. Something like this. And if we add the subdivision surface modifier to this, you can see that we get a really nice clean result and we have these lovely rounded off corners. Now the good thing about this method is it actually works on cylinders as well. You can't do particularly big rounded corners on a cylinder because the angle is just too big and it messes things up, but you can go for quite tight corners. Right, so all you have to do that time is just add in the cuts to wherever you want it to be. I'm going to select, say, these faces here and do the same thing. I'm going to inset and select these. Add a little bevel. Like I said, it can't be too big. It has to be a fairly small bevel on these ones. Otherwise, it will leave some weird shading. Connect those up. Add the loop cut and select these. And this is the result you get. I just need to get rid of these faces. And it looks something like this. So now we've covered how to cut a square shape out of a curved surface. What about if you wanted to do a rounded off sort of capsule shape? Well, that's actually fairly easy to do. The first thing that I would do here, we have just a standard cylinder and I've cut off the top and bottom. And I'm just going to add in a loop cut and then I'm going to bevel it and I'm going to make sure that I have one segment on either side like this. So we have a loop cut in the middle. This is basically just going to be the boundary edge. So we want everything contained inside here. Then I'm going to select this edge and I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm not going to bring it out very far. I'm going to roughly keep these faces square. So something like this. I'm going to select these 4 faces and I'm going to use the Great Loop Tools add-on that comes with Blender again, and I'm going to change this to a circle. Then this is going to be the top of our capsule shape and this is going to be the bottom. Right, so in order to split those up, we're just going to have to add one more bevel in the middle like this, and then I can select this top part and move it up to, say, there, and I get the bottom part and move it down around the same amount. I'm going to select this and I'm going to add some supporting loops on either side of this. So something like here, I don't want to go too close. Then I'm going to select these ones and I'm going to inset. Now, how much you inset here is going to change how sharp the boundary is going to be, basically. So I'm not going to go too far, just something like this. And then I'm going to extrude this in. I'm going to select the middle verts, and I'm going to push these in on the y-axis, something like this. And then if we shade smooth this and add some subdivision, this is the effect that we get. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you want a really sharp edge on here, you're going to go for a small inset. I can show you what that would look like just by adding in a new loop cut here. You might want to also add one on the inside like that. And if you want to sort of flatter bottom on it, you can always add one over there as well. But it's really quite low poly way to add some nice details into a mesh. I use this method all the time. One of the first videos in this course is about managing topology by increasing or reducing the number of faces that are connected to a column or a row. For instance, if you want to connect 3 edges to 5 edges, how do you actually do that? People tell me all the time that that's a really helpful concept, that's helped their topology a lot, but I also get a lot of questions asking about how you do this on a radial object. If you have a flat circle or a cylinder, how do you reduce the number of edges going up and down the length? So I'm going to demo that today on a circular object, and I'm just going to change the number of verts here to 16. It does work on 32, I'll actually demo that later, but for now let's just go with 16. So I'm going to go into edit mode here and make sure I press 1 so that I'm in vertex mode. I'm going to extrude and scale in, then I'm going to do that 2 more times. So this is what we want. We want to have 3 different loops here, and at the moment they all have 16 faces each, but I'm going to reduce that down so this one only has half as many. So the way that we do this is to look at our inside loop, this one here, and we want to find the edges that are pointing to the cardinal directions, meaning north, east, south, and west. So that would be like this one here, and this one, and this one, and this one. Then I'm going to press Control and Delete, which in Blender is the dissolve tool, and that just gets rid of those faces, their edges, sorry. So now this is going to be our point of reduction. We're going to try and make a diamond shape in here. And I'm going to do that just by pressing 1, and I'm going to add some cuts. So it's important when you add these cuts that you make the diamond point towards the inside, is the way that I always think about it. So if I get the annotate tool here, I'm trying to make a shape like this. I don't want to go the other direction because then we'll be left with these triangles, and I know technically there's triangles the other way, but you'll see in a second why that doesn't matter. So I'm going to select this point, and then this point, and this point, and press J in Blender, which adds a cut between those points. It is important that you select them in order. You can't go, say, the middle, then left, then right. Otherwise, it'll do this. I'm just going to select them in order, press J, and that adds our diamond shape. And I'm going to do the same thing here, making sure that we go in. Right, so we're pointing in, and we get something like this. So now this is looking pretty messy, and like I said, we have been left with these triangles, which we didn't want. But the thing is, we're actually going to remove some edges here, which means they won't matter. So what we need to do is just identify the edge that's on the corner, and then the one that's on the inside connected to it. Okay, and just dissolve that. And then we're going to do the same thing here. Find this edge running from the corner to the inside. Get rid of that. And just go around the length of the whole thing. Get rid of them. You can select them all at once. I just want you to see the effect that's happened as I go around. And you'll see now that we have 16 around here. And we only have 8 on here. Right, so if I add a bevel to this and to this, and then we subdivide this, should smooth, right, you can see here that we've went from having all these edges, and now we have fewer going around. And if we actually select these edges, you can see that these ones all go up, but then when you get to here, they all get redirected, right? So it's really clever that a load of the edges that you've got going around here end up just being looped back on themselves. and it creates much cleaner topology. So obviously that works as well if you have a higher count. If we start off with 32, which is the standard amount of verts on here, right? It's basically the same process. So I'll just go through that really quickly. Just press Shift and R 2 times to repeat that. So it's the same process of selecting the ones on the cardinal directions and getting rid of them. The only difference is now you want to go 1, 2, 3 and get rid of the ones at 45-degree angles as well. So that would be this one, and this one. And get rid of those as well, and you're just going to do the same thing. Yeah, and then just like before, we're going to select these pieces. And dissolve those. So now we've went from 32 to 16. And obviously if you wanted to do the 16 to 8, well, we've just done that. So it would be the same process again. You just need to add 2 more loops and you would start from here. So now we've actually went from 16 all the way to 8. Right, once again, if we just apply this, you can see that we've got a massive amount of edges running up here, and we have far, far fewer at the top. If you want to go in the opposite direction, it's largely the same process, but going in the other way. So once again, I'm just going to start with 16 verts here, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to extrude and scale this in. Okay, and once again, we want to identify these 4 edges at the cardinal points and remove them. The only difference is that this time, we want the diamond to be pointing in the opposite direction, right? So it always points the direction that we want the reduction to go. And then instead of getting rid of these ones that are connected to the edges, this time we're going to go for these ones. I went from 16 and we're down to 8. So if I get rid of that and we have a denser mesh with 32, I'm going to do the same thing, but then we're also going to get rid of every third one. So 1, 2, 3, get rid of that one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Make sure that it's pointing out. Then just select those edges. Then Control and Delete to dissolve those. And went from 32 down to 16. If you found this video helpful and you would like to access over 40 tutorials just like this, remember to check out the link in the description and use the code SAVE35 at checkout. Or if you get the Essential Blender bundle, use the code BUNDLE40 and you will essentially get 2 courses for less than the price of one.